Hi guys, so glad you could join me. My headache has eased up enough that I can function, so I figured go ahead and do the video. If you have any questions at all throughout the video, just post them in the comments and I will do my best to get to them after the video is over. If you can't think of anything to comment or ask or whatever until after I'm done with the video, I do check back and I will respond to any questions or comments or anything. So the whole point of this video is I am a single mom with an amazing 12-year-old boy. Don't tell him I said that though. So I wanted to get on here a little bit and talk about working on your health and fitness with kids. I know a few of the other moms that I've talked to, they're like, well, I can't do it right now with my kids, my young kids. And I'm like, yeah, you can. So made up a little list of bullet points that I wanted to go over, and we're going to get started. First, I want to start with my story with trying to work on my health and fitness with my son in the house. It started 11 months ago. Well, in 4 days, it'll be exactly 11 months since I started on this. And he was going to a brick and mortar school. So I would drop him off at school, do my crossing guard job because I'm a crossing guard for the elementary school. So I drop him off at school, go do my crossing guard job, come home, and I would do my workout as soon as I got home from him going to school. And you would think that'd be the easiest thing for me because my son's out of the house. I don't have to worry about him. So not the case. My son was diagnosed with ADHD, ODD, anxiety, and sensory processing disorder when he was, I want to say 7. So for the first couple of years, it was easy breezy, lemon squeezy while he was at school. His elementary school teachers were amazing with him. And then he got to middle school, and they didn't really want to work with him as much as they did in elementary school. So I was getting phone calls constantly telling me that my son was in the nurse's office upset and I had to come get him, or I needed to come get him because he was getting upset in class. They never tried to figure out why he was getting upset. They just called me, which ended up with another issue, truancy. And I'm like, how is he truant when you're the one sending him home? Anyways, different story. So, I mean, there were days where I could finish the entire workout, but then there's days where I'd get a phone call 10, 15 minutes into my workout, and I'd have to go to the school, pick him up, or calm him down enough that he could finish the day, and then come home and try to convince myself to finish my workout. I want to say 95% of the time I did finish my workout. The other 5%, I'm like, you know what? I can't focus on this right now. I'll get to it later. And then I wouldn't. And then the weekends were hard because I'm like, how do I get my workout done with my son complaining that I'm taking over the TV, or if I can get him squared away on his computer playing his games and he gets so excited that he's yelling and screaming and laughing and singing. So it was a distraction. Then I got to the point where he liked to sleep in. He doesn't anymore. He's got this thing where he has to be up at like 7 o'clock. But he would sleep in, so I'd try to wake up before he did, get my workout done, and then I'm good for the day. Just gotta focus on my food. Then summer came, and we moved on his last day of school last year, and I injured myself and healed from the injury, started working out again, blah, all this other stuff. So my workouts this summer were not as on point as they should be. I was getting them done, just not as many as I wanted to or for as long as I wanted to, because there was 2.5 months I could not use my knee at all. And what I just found out at physical therapy yesterday, I probably should not have started using it again just because it started feeling better. That's a whole nother story. But then I'm like, okay, I want to get him into school and I could do my workouts while he's at school. Then we found out that we live in a school district that we really don't want him going to school in. The application website for where we live now stated a certain school district. I was all gung-ho about it. Spent 2.5 weeks getting the paperwork together so he could start school at that school. Then found out that we live half a mile outside of the border. So I found out what school he's supposed to be going to. That's not a school we want to send him to. So we started online school this year. And then it hit me. Holy crap. How am I supposed to get my workouts done with my kid home every single day? And for the first 2 weeks, I want to say, of him being in online school, it was challenging. Just trying to figure out when was the best time for me to do my workout. But then I realized his computer, it's on the other side of this wall right here. It's technically in the living room, his school computer. So I get him squared away on his live classes that he has to attend every day, get the living room set up for me to do my workout, and do my dang workout while he's on the computer in his live class. If he needs anything, all I gotta do is hit pause, get it, start my workout back up. My routine gets interrupted for maybe 5 minutes, as opposed to the 30 to 60 minutes last year when he was going to brick and mortar school. So my workouts now, this time around, with this school year I mean, are going so much better than they did last year. So that's a little bit of my story on trying to work on my health, at least the fitness part of that with my son. Excuse me. I've had moms tell me in the past that they can't work out with their little ones at home because they just don't have the time. And there is the time if you decide that your health and fitness is important enough to make the time. If your kid's young enough that they're still taking a nap that's like an hour, hour and a half long, work out while they're taking their nap. If they're young enough that they go to sleep early, work out after you get them to sleep. It's really like we all have the exact same 24 hours in a day. How we use them is up to us. Hi, buddy. Nobody else. So if you really, really want to improve your health and fitness, then you will find the time and make your time work for you, not you work for your time. It takes 30 minutes to get a decent workout in. If your kid takes a nap for an hour and a half, that's a third of their nap time that you're working on yourself, and you're not really interrupting your kid. If they're school-aged kids and they actually go to a brick and mortar school and you're a stay-at-home mom, work out once they're at school. Do your work, or you can just wake up before they wake up and do your workout. Get your kids squared away, get them to school. If they're an older kid, like 5th grade and up, and they're into sports or they're just into doing anything they can with mom, then have them help you pick out a workout and do it with them. It even works for the younger kids with the dance workouts. If your kid likes to have dance parties, throw on a dance workout. You do the dance routine for the workouts, and your kid's just dancing around crazy, having a ball because they're dancing with mom. I mean, it's super, I don't want to say super because you have to have the dedication to do it, but you can fit it in. 100% you can fit it in. There are days where my son needs my attention more than others, but I can still get it done. I'll be like, buddy, you know what? Just give me 30 minutes, and then my attention's yours. Just let me do this, and then I'm yours. So there are ways to fit in workouts. It just all depends on how badly you want something. Working moms. I know your schedule is a lot more hectic because you have to go work either full-time or part-time, then come home and take care of the kids. That's where your dedication to your improvement of health and fitness really kicks in. I know women that will work out before their family wakes up. They'll get up about half hour earlier than usual, do their workout, then get the kids going. Or they will go about their day normally, then once the family is asleep, they'll do their workouts. Nighttime workouts don't work for everybody. It's something you have to figure out for yourself. I Love nighttime workouts if it's a workout I'm not doing at home. If I'm working out at home, I'm just like, do I really want to do it at night? And I usually do them in the morning, and it sets my mood and sets my tone for the rest of the day. So, I mean, there's other ways to fit everything into. Like, if you have an infant and you have a baby carrier, I tried one of those, wasn't a fan of it, but now my kid's 12, so it really doesn't matter. But if you have a little small baby wear them and do lunges, do squats, go for a walk. Just wear them a little bit more than you usually do for extra weight while you're doing household chores or a quick workout routine. There's videos everywhere for pretty much every type of workout. I'm pretty sure you could go to YouTube right now. You know what? I'm going to do that while I'm on here. Go to YouTube and see if there are baby wearing routines. Baby wearing workouts. And just had about 30 pop up. So, I mean, that's an option right there. And again, like I said, getting your little ones to dance with you, or your older kids, having them pick out a routine and do that with them. I know that the kids in my son's old karate school would get a kick out of doing a program like Core to Force, the MMA style workout. It's like they're kicking, punching, doing stuff they're already learning in their karate class, but they get to do it with they can do it with their parent while their parent's working on their health and fitness. And then the part that a lot of people that I've talked to find the trickiest, like my son and myself, is a picky eater. I grew up on the typical American diet. If it's prepackaged, comes from a box, comes from a freezer, comes from a can, that was what we ate. That's what I grew up on. My son took after me with the same eating habits. I mean, he does eat things that I don't eat. Like, he likes steak and ribs and buffalo sauce. I can't do any of that stuff. I don't like it. But I have managed to fit in my pickiness with what I can eat, and I get results from it. And I have been broadening my horizons over the past 11 months. I found ways to cook broccoli, which I hated broccoli 11 months ago. I have found ways to cook it that work for me. So I'm still getting a veggie from my broccoli. It's the one thing that always annoyed my mom was I hate veggies with a fiery passion. So I will add a ton of spinach and kale mix to my smoothies, and that's like 3 or 4 servings of my veggies right there in one drink. An easy way, actually let me backtrack for a second. There's 2 different things that I've noticed. Either your kid will eat anything you put in front of them, or they don't want to touch anything they've never seen before. If your kid will eat anything you put in front of them, that makes it so much easier for you because you can cook for your kid what you're cooking for yourself. If your kid's like, I'm not going to touch that, I've never seen it before, then there's different things you can do. You can have them help you get the groceries from the grocery store. Have them I need a head of broccoli, help me pick out one. Or I need a bundle of asparagus, help me pick out one. That's one I still need to try is asparagus. And have them help you do the grocery shopping, or have them help you cook the food, because it's said that if a kid sees what's going into their food, they're more likely to try it because they know what's in it and they helped make it. If you meal prep, like if you do all your meal prepping over the weekend for the entire week, have your kid help you with the meal prepping. Let them give suggestions on what you can eat. And then there's also, excuse me, finding healthier alternatives to the foods that your kids will already eat. Like my son loves cinnamon rolls, and he likes pancakes and waffles and carb-loaded stuff like that. So I have found healthier alternatives for those. Instead of bleached white flour and ingredients you can't even understand or say, I have found whole wheat flour completely organic, non-GMO, gluten-free versions of these things. It's not 100% on point for me, but I go by the 80-20 lifestyle. 80% on point, 20% I'm living life. So when I make those cinnamon rolls or pancakes for my son, I'll have one. It's not hurting anything at all for me to have one. But it's a healthier alternative. If you like corned beef hash from a can, which I grew up on, I have find a healthier alternative. Sweet potatoes with ground turkey or ground chicken, onions, and seasoning. It is amazing. First time I tried it, I thought it was going to be gross. It is so good. There are so many nutrients mixed into it too that you don't get from the canned stuff. So much less sodium than with the canned stuff, or with the can. I can't talk. If you make it from scratch with the sweet potatoes and the ground meat and the spices and all that stuff, so much less sodium compared to what comes from the canned stuff. If you like lasagna is one of my favorites. Tons of different healthy versions for that stuff. Baked chicken, or making your own breaded baked chicken with a whole wheat bread crumble and baking it yourself instead of getting the deep fried stuff from the fast food joint. Sweet potato mashed potatoes or sweet potato fries instead of yellow potato fries. Regular baking it is automatically cutting down on how much grease and everything's in it too, as opposed to the deep frying stuff. Whole wheat bread for French toast is not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I mean, there are so many different ways to find healthier alternatives to what's already being eaten. It's got to get the family on board. And then there's the whole, well, my family's not being supportive. I've been there. I grew up with unsupportive family members. Not all of them, not my immediate family, but I grew up hearing so much negativity about my weight, my eating habits, the fact that I'm never going to be able to lose the weight, and they don't see me ever eating healthy. I've been there. And I let it get to me for a very, very, very long time. And then I decided, you know what? These people hold zero power over me, my life, and what I do. And I turned it around. Instead of getting upset when I heard that stuff, I would let it fuel me. I would put all the anger, all the frustration, all the stress from everything I was hearing, and I would put that into my workout. I would give 110%. I will be honest, when I was taking a kickboxing class at my son's karate school, and we were having to punch the Wave Masters, I pictured that specific family member's face, and I just got it all out. The best workout I ever had. Then there's the simple fact that how important is this to you? Not how important is this to them. How important is it to you? What does this mean to you? Don't let the negative Nancys and the naysayers start dragging you back down the rabbit hole of being unhappy with yourself. You need to hold on to why this is important to you. What makes this so important to you? Is it a health reason? Is it a just personal reason, mental reason, emotional reason? I had all four of those reasons. And that's why it's important to me. I don't let it bother me anymore when someone says something negative about me. I let that fuel me. You say that about me now, but come see me in a few months and see if it's still the same thing. And backtrack to the food just a little bit more. What if your family refuses to eat what you can and need to eat for this? You can either meal prep your own food in advance so it's already ready, and then your spouse and your kids can have something different. Or I actually had a friend of mine tell her husband he was a big boy, he knows how to cook. If he refuses to support her and eat what she can eat, he can go fix his own stuff. Yeah, it made it a little more difficult because he would either go to the fast food place or cook something she can't eat and then eat it right there in front of her. But eventually he came around. He started seeing the results in her, how much happier she was, how much happier that made their relationship, how much better she was feeling about herself, how much better she was looking, and he got on board. So they don't always stay negative. It just takes them a minute. And then, sorry, trying so hard to fight through this headache. Um, Sit down with your spouse if they're or whoever is being unsupportive, your spouse, a different family member, an older child that doesn't understand, like, I mean older, like old enough that you could actually explain things to them and they're not going to be like, what? I know that's most kids. But sit down with your family that's being negative about this and explain to them as best as you can why this is so important to you. Why are you doing this? Why do you need their support? Use myself as an example real quick. Um, Amazing support from my dad and my son right now. But if I had someone in my family being negative about what I was doing, I'd be like, you know what? That's all fine and dandy how you feel. But me, I am doing this for my health because I've been diagnosed with two things that are attributed to weight gain. One of them is more curable, I want to say, more reversible, that's what I should say. More reversible than the other. One affects my sleep, one affects my head. Part of where the migraine's coming from. And then it's personal. I want to feel better about myself. Plain and simple. I want to be able to feel the best about myself and love myself the best that I never have before. So there's a personal aspect to it. Mentally, it's so less draining when I work on myself and I get myself to a point where I am happier. And that helps with my emotions too. I am less crabby, my mood swings are less, and I'm just overall a happier person. I mean, I would probably, me personally, I'd go into more detail, but I don't want to have this video going for hours because I could do that. And then there's the easy thing that you could do is find a support group online. Facebook support group. There's tons of them out there. Find a support group of other moms that are going through the same situation as you. And you can bounce ideas off of each other, give support to each other, give motivation to each other, vent to each other if you need to. But that support group will be a lifesaver if you feel like you're on an island all by yourself trying to do this. And so I wanted to go back real quick to the start of this and say working out with a kid, working on your fitness and your health with a kid, 100% doable. It all depends on how badly you want this. No one can make the change except you. Don't use your kids as an excuse either, because that just causes whole other problems down the line. Use your kids as your reason, never an excuse. If you keep saying, I can't do this because my kid's too young, I can't do this because my kid's too young, I can't do this because my kid has too many appointments, stop. How important is 30 minutes of your life to improve your life to you? Plain and simple. How important is it to you? There are always 30 seconds in the day where you could fit something else in. I do some of my workouts while watching TV, my free weight workouts. I'll turn the TV on and catch on to my DVR stuff while I'm doing 30 to 60 minutes of free weight exercises. Or I'll just do a 30-minute DVD. If you're sitting down watching TV, 30 minutes to work out right there. If your kid's taking a nap, time to work out right there. If your kid's at school, time to work out right there. If your entire family is asleep, but you're not, get a workout in. It's easy as long as you want it. If you keep saying you want it, but you don't really want it, you're going to make it a whole lot harder than it actually is. I appreciate you guys being on here and hanging out with me for the past 25 minutes. I hope I made sense. My migraine is not liking the fact that we've got a week's worth of rain coming in and the temperature rose 20 degrees, and my medication they have me on for my knee. I appreciate you guys hanging in with me. I hope I made sense. If you have any comments or questions, don't hesitate to post them below because I will get back to you. I hope you all have a great rest of your Tuesday, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.